I was just working on the skill I need for the next stage in my life. I have just a few more days left in the office, and then I will be officially retired. For those of you who know me and know me well, it really is my third retirement, but this time I think it's for good. Well, let's take a look at what's in this week's update. With just a few more days left here in the office, I get a chance to do a few things around here to get some things cleaned up and make things ready for what's going to happen with the transition and Clark Mershon taking over the position here at the association. What's going to be in this week's update? Well, let's take a look. We'll have a little bit of a message from me. Also, you'll find some changes in the law for education for 2018-19 and beyond. You might want to take a good look at those, maybe pass those along to a central office. Make your staff aware of what changes are coming. Also, we have a few notes about the MoASSP Board of Directors and Presidents-elect meeting that we had last week. Membership is now open. New commissioner. And we have a quorum for the school board. Well, let's take a look at a few items that are in this week's update. First of all, in the movie or the stage play, The Lion King, the song by Elton John and Tim Rice, Circle of Life, reminds me of the place in life I am today and where you will be someday as well. At some point in time, we begin to realize there's more to see than can ever be seen and more to do than can ever be done. We learn that the joy is in the journey and that what we see and what we do impacts everyone in and in many ways outside of our sphere of contact. We know there's a circle of life, and part of our role is to prepare the next leaders to keep the circle intact. Well, in a few more days, Clark Mershon will take over. Clark will answer to a great board of directors. They're knowledgeable, collaborative, and eager to serve the needs of all secondary principals in Missouri. It's gratifying to see 15 leaders grow cerebrally in both knowledge and in the capacity to influence their buildings, district, and state. Clark will make a great addition. He has a tremendous amount of experience, and he also has a solid team to help guide him with the managerial side of the organization, which will allow him to use his great communication skills to develop relationships with the major players and principals in Missouri and also at the national level. You know, I've always considered myself lucky, and I owe nearly all of my success to the quality of people that I've been around over a long period of time. I have been most proud to serve alongside some of the greatest leaders in America. Principals who tirelessly put themselves on the line each day in support of the students and people they serve. MoASSP was the catalyst for my continual learning, my association with knowledgeable principals, and for the opportunity to contribute to change both the organization and help change some of the things going on at the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education here in Missouri. Prior to being in the MoASSP office, MoASSP provided me with many opportunities to influence education here in Missouri. As a principal, I served on several committees with DESE, wrote letters of support for our issues, spoke at conferences, and made many friends. More importantly, I was influenced by some of the best principal leaders in America, and I can say that with complete confidence because I've had the opportunities to travel across the country to see what's going on in other states, and I can assure you that Missouri has some of the finest principals in America. I never aspired to have the title of executive director. For 3 years, I watched Jim King and understood he was a gifted man who was passionate about MoASSP and the members he served. I was humbled to be offered the position, knowing the shoes were big. The anxiety was high, and my initial state of mind was, don't screw this up, Phil. What I soon realized was that the board and the MoASSP members make this organization run, and a little of the anxiety went away as I traveled the state and realized the support was systemic and was a powerful force. For For the last 7 years, I've been in the MoASSP office, and for the last 4 as executive director. I can honestly say it has never felt like work. All I ever wanted to do was teach, and I was granted that dream. I have had a wonderful career serving students, teachers, and most recently principals. I firmly believe the principal membership of MoASSP are the most knowledgeable about teaching, learning, and the value of leadership that any state in the country has in their arsenal. MoASSP is in good hands with your guidance and extended effort. I will miss you. I will miss your smiles, your successes, and your friendship. But the circle of life has to run its course. I know you will continue to grow this organization into an even more influential and powerful organizational force that will intentionally grow more leaders and make Missouri one of the most positive learning states in the country. I thank you for all the things that you've done for me. Changes in the law for education. I have attached on the email about 12 or 15 laws that are going to impact you, some this year and some in the near future. A few quick things. You need a district suicide plan in place by July 1. If you haven't been to a training or you haven't started that process, DESE has a model. You can use that link that I provided on the attachment. There is mandated dyslexia training that's required in 1819. So you need to either check with your regional professional development center, develop a plan on your own, or you'll need to contact DESE, and a number has been provided where you can contact the office to get some additional help. ACT and work keys, there's information about that. High schools must provide students with resources and information on high-demand jobs, certification, skills, salaries, etc. by November 1 of each year. So you need to make sure that you take a look at that. Middle level or high school, if you're teaching some form of sexuality, you need to make sure that you're covering those bases. Virtual courses begin August 2018. This is a little bit complicated, so you'll need to contact your lawyer or get some help from somewhere about developing a plan of how you're going to deal with those people who want to take virtual courses. And of course, your district has to pay for that. Attorney in fact. This is another complicated bill, and your legal representative should draw up a policy for you. Coming in 2018-19, allowing math, science, or practical arts credit for computer science courses. That's a trade-off. You need to put a plan in place so that there is a clear direction on how you're going to deal with those kinds of things. Well, last week was the MoASSP Board of Directors and District Presidents-elect and Presidents-elect that came to Columbia to meet. I want to thank the presidents and the board of directors for giving of their time at this year's summer board meeting. The more knowledge a principal has about the inner workings of the state and federal government bodies and organizations that impact the building, the better understanding a leader has about the systems, organization, leadership, and influence. We had some great people that came to speak. We heard from executive directors Joanne Bartoletti of NASSP, who came all the way from Reston, Virginia to visit with our people. Kerwin Erhan of Missouri State High School Activities Association, Steve Yoakum of PSRS, and Doug Hyder of MASSA. And of course, the new executive director of MoASSP, Clark Michaud. Just think of the years of experience in leadership, problem solving, and national and international relations this group was exposed to in just 2 short days. MoASSP membership is now open. You can use the fillable form that's on our website, or you can also go to the MoASSP store, which also can be found there. We are on the lookout for a new commissioner. There are 10 applications for the job prior to December. But they're going to start that search all over. It will be a national search, and they are in no hurry. Roger Dorshan, of course, is the interim commissioner. He's doing 2 jobs, but they feel safe with where they are in Roger's hands. We have a quorum. We have 2 new board members, which gives us 5. Carol Hallquist and Peter Hershen have been appointed to the State Board of Education. That gives the board 5 members. in good standing, and their first meeting was June 14th. Carol is new to the board, and her learning curve will be steep, but the 4 experienced members in place will make sure the rhythm and tone of the board will not undergo major changes at this time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please never forget, it really is the principle of the thing.